in 2 weeks to a stranger.
Little black book, you know what time it is. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell button for the notifications of when we upload, baby, because you don't want to miss when we do the next episode. We're going to be talking to you guys about Married at First Sight. Listen, if you're... make sure you know what? You ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen, you're Maddie Gege. We're going to talk to you guys about Meka and Michael. So you already know how we go, because you know I love the black love. But yeah, with Meka and Michael, such an interesting, I guess, dynamic. Both very beautiful people, melanin popping, chocolate dropping. You know what I mean? Like, I love the fact that she got, because I'm a natural hair person as well. So when he said that, I was like, yeah, my brother, I'm with you on that.
Suits. I think there's a ring, so I got that part. All right, that's straight. The day's finally here. It's like, yo, I'm getting married in a couple of hours, and I hope my wife is fun. I hope she has a zest for life, and you know, as a black man who dated women who are natural, and the women in my family are natural, I'm a sucker for natural hair. So anytime I see it, I'm get excited.
The natural hair thing, but also as well, I think what I really like about the two of them is the fact that they've got such an ambitious drive within their lives as well. And so I think she even mentioned she's a bit of an alpha female. I don't know if Michael is an alpha male per se. He didn't mention that. He doesn't look that kind of type. She does look like she can be a little bit more dominant, but that's because I guess, you know, her life, she's had to look after her siblings and stuff. So for her, she's always been in the driving seat, which actually could be an issue as well in the future. We'll see what happens. It could be one of the things that she's going to find hard. How does she relax and let him take control if he wants to take control, or let the reins be let the reins be shared? Can she deal with that? Because and this is another thing as well. I think with people that is very difficult as well, is that she may want to share the reins, but doesn't know how to share the reins, but wants him to share the reins. Do you know what I mean? Or wants to take control. But she's so used to not doing it, she can't say it or express it, but she expects it. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm saying that could potentially be an issue as well.
2 jobs, and I am the oldest, so I've been watching my siblings since I was 10 by myself. Having to be the second mom and having to grow up and having to know that, look, I have 3 little people that are dependent on me. It felt like so much responsibility.
Because if you've had to look after your siblings, you know, all throughout most of your life, and even her mum said, look, you know, this is an opportunity for her to even, you know, for her to do something for her, and it's good for her to you know, to be able to do something for herself, then you know that this person has spent so much time invested in dealing with the family stuff. Now she's doing something for herself. It's going to be, you know, when she gets into a relationship with someone else, can she share? You know, can she relax? Can she put herself back on the passenger seat and say, oh, my best friend's right, trying to holler at me? You know what I mean? Can she just relax and put herself in the passenger seat? Do you get what I'm saying? So that's another thing that may come up within their relationship. But I do love the fact that she knows she's quite bubbly and energetic and outgoing, and she really just wants a 6-foot queen, a 6-foot king in it. Do you get me? With beard.
I'm picturing him tall with a beard. Like, I just love beard.
And you know, obviously, like I said, she's answered all the questions quite extensively as well. So she knows what she wants. You know what I mean? She knows what she wants, and she's made it clear. And I guess that's what they gave her Michael. She mentioned about not settling, and in a summary we asked one of those questions, which was, you know, get to a certain age, should you settle? And she said obviously she's not settling, and obviously she's able to do that because she's still got good buying power. And now this is one of the things I wanted you guys to pick up on. Vitality, youth, beauty are goods, yeah, in a sense of they are goods that can be exchanged or traded or can be bought, yeah. And what I mean by that is that they have a power that somebody would want to buy, yeah. So when a man sees a beautiful girl, he wants to buy the power. He wants to buy the power of the fact he's got a beautiful girl on his arm, yeah. Now he may lack a personality, all that kind of stuff. I'm not doubting that. What we're saying though is that beauty has a power. It draws a certain currency from certain guys. That's why we say there's certain leagues when people are beautiful. Yeah, the more beautiful, the more that those men who are in power financially, whether it's politically, social aspects or whatever, they want those type of girls, right? Because they want the best in the market, so it seems. And so what happens is when you're young, you're beautiful, you're curvy, you know, and you know your social status is in good standing, then you, as a woman especially, you have a lot of buying power, meaning that you have a lot of suitors for you, yeah, and that gives you a greater range to be able to make a choice. So your pool is quite large because of the vitality, the youth, and the looks that you have. When those start dwindling, then the pool starts to dwindle, and your power starts to dwindle because your power isn't a choice. Do you understand? So women's power often is in between those, is really in between those ages where 20 and 40, or 20, 45, 50, depending on how young they look, you know what I'm saying? They still got a lot of power when it comes to us and men. Because of their fact, their vitality, their youth. Now, when it gets past 30, the reason why women start getting a little bit, it's not just because of the age, but because of what it signifies for the body. You know, the body potentially can start going through changes. The fact that as you get older, the chances of child mortality and your health risks of having a baby begin to increase. So naturally what happens is women have this thing we call body clock. And you know, so then what happens is there's a stress and there's a impetus to push harder to get certain things sorted by a certain amount of time, right? You got a deadline. And so when you talk about Meka and Michael, you know, when she mentioned about not settling, she's absolutely right. She doesn't have to settle right now because at the moment she has a great extensive pool. Yeah, and that's why people don't have to settle until the pool is dwindling. When the pool starts to dwindle, you can start sweating. Yeah, when the pool is dwindling, you can start what? Sweating.
Mother, it's her birthday. We love you. We appreciate you. We're so happy to have you in our lives. And also, I want to toast to a second thing, which is that I'm getting married in 2 weeks to a stranger.
She did a toast. It was her mom's birthday or whatever, a party or whatever. And she toasted to her mom. And then she toasted for herself. And I was like, how are you going to steal the shine on your mom's birthday, man? And put your wedding proposals on there as well. Come on, man. Meka, come on, man. Meka, come on, man. You know that's not right. You know what I'm saying? You know that's not right, baby. That's like someone proposing at your wedding, man. That ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. And so yeah, I mean, for me, what I saw from Meka, I mean, I love the reaction of the family, especially her mum. Her mum was quite young as well, which was she looked quite young anyway. And you know, what I saw was like a supportive family, and this is very important because I think one of the very important things or themes that are running through Ready to Love at the moment, I think, is family and the reaction to it. How do they take it? You know, this was almost similar to last, I think, 2 seasons ago with Jasmine and. I always forget the guy's name, but Jasmine, her father was not on it at all, bruv, and that was shaky legs for her. But yeah, I mean, even with that, we saw how that can really stress somebody, not having the support of your family. So that was very important, I guess, for Meka and for a relationship that's going to go and build on in the correct manner as well. Moving on to Michael, we got introduced to him, and you know, he gave us a quick monologue of the fact that his mum passed away at 30. She gave him up when he was, I think, 9 months old, over to his auntie. And so his auntie has basically been like his mum, and you know, his cousin has been like his sister. So the woman that was actually giving him a speech.
I want you to go into this process honestly. I'm your sister. You're my brother, so I know who you are. And I love you with all of my heart. And because I haven't been married, but I, for one, want it for you.
You know, when they were doing their Sunday toasting, as they normally do, you know, and I was so moved by the speech of the cousin, because it was just like, you know, she just was genuinely so happy for him. And she said, you know, I'm happy for you that you're doing this, even though I couldn't do it. I'm so happy you're able to do this. And for me, that brought me to tears, you know, because I know it's a struggle, bruv, you know, and it's a blessing to be in a relationship, you know. It's a blessing to be married. It's a blessing, you know. People don't realize. Not everyone gets married. As you get older, you realize this. But not everyone gets married. You know what I mean? And so, you know, when she was talking and just speaking so fondly of him, it was such a positive and such a moving piece. And, you know, to have someone like that again in your corner, in your ring, is so good. You know, it's so good. And it's also a good stead for the fact that you potentially will get good sound advice in your relationship when you have certain people like this in your life who root for you. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I think also as well, what was interesting as well, like I said, I didn't see the father figure around. I saw his boys. Funny enough as well, when he was pouring the drinks, the funniest thing happened.
My name was Mike.
The friend like literally threw the glass over the table to like, yo, I want my drink or whatever. I just found that kind of interesting as well. But yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, just looking at it from a perspective, was like, I didn't see a father figure again. So both parties now haven't got a father figure. How do we deal with this situation? Does it even impact them? I don't know. Some people might not be affected by it. Do you know what I mean? Does it play any part in their relationship in the future? You know, how was he shaped in terms of growing up as a man? Like, do you know what I mean? Because obviously he grew up around women. How was he shaped? You know what I mean? How does he see life? How does he see his role as a male? Do you know what I mean? They're all different questions. How does he see her role as a female? Like, you know what I mean? We want to know these kind of things, and we're going to find out probably in the next few weeks. But I'm sure it will play itself out that this is important issues where parental people are not around.
I'll be the first person in my family to get married, and to see a marriage kind of come to fruition and also then be successful. It's just something that I really want, not only for myself, but for my family.
You know what? You know, again, it's a bit like my generation. Some of the people have gone to university for the first time in their whole family, and it's a proud-ass moment that the person's gone to university. So, you know, something like that, hitting milestones within the family and breaking certain chains and breaking certain setbacks that have held a family in generations, whatever, can be such a touching moment. Not only touching, can also set a precedence for the future generation as well, you know, because now he's done it, other people can do it as well, you know, and people will believe that they can do it because they've seen it being done, and that's the important thing. I think it's not easy to do, but, you know, whatever route he's chosen, we thank God that he's the first one to do it, and the rest will have to follow. You know, hopefully his kids will do the exact same. You know, that's what you're wanting. Be a trendsetter, be an apostle, somebody who plants the flag. You know what I mean? You go forward first. You know what I'm saying? You go and plant the seed in that ground and wait for it to grow. You understand? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was Meka and Michael. I really do believe that they got a great foundation to go from. I think they're going to be a good couple. Just got to make sure that any secret insecurities, which we won't know until they actually start dating, see how they deal with that. You know, like I said, dealing with, you know, always being in leadership for Meka, and then obviously for Michael as well. Whether he might be very relaxed because he's been around women all the time. Whether, you know, that will affect him in terms of the way he sees his role as a male and what he's expecting as well, you know. So yeah, guys, that was our review of Meka and Michael. Let us know your thoughts down below. I mean, do you think, question here is, do you think you know, having a missing father figure in both homes are going to affect the marriage going forward? And as well, you know, and what other question am I think of? Yeah, do you think that Meka will struggle to release the reins so that they can both lead, or Michael leads? Do you think she'll struggle to let him be a leader in a relationship? Let us know your thoughts down below. Listen, hey, little black book, you know what time it is. You ain't got the minerals, you got the power. Yeah. Okay, that needs to stop. Let's stop ASAP, Rocky. Appreciate you.